Hi everyone, my name is Junon Macéus. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is the romantic compatibility between ENTJs and ESTJs. But before we dive into this topic, I would like to underline something about my book. It is written from a health science point of view, so we'll be looking at the anatomy, physiology, brain dominance, and so forth of the 16 MBTI personality types. And based on this information, you can identify your own type. And since I advocate that like attract like, you can determine the best romantic partner for you long term. So let's go back to the topic at hand. What do ENTJs and ESTJs have in common? What is interesting about this couple is that one, the ENTJ, is the intuitive version of the ESTJ. So you'll look at their function stack and they have pretty much the same ones, but the intuitive function in the ENTJ has been substituted from the sensor version in the ESTJ. So if you look at, let's say, the first function for both is extroverted thinking, the second it is the introverted intuition for the ENTJ, but for the ESTJ is introverted sensing. So that is something that is interesting when it comes to this pairing. Now, obviously, they are both thinkers. So these are people who are very left brain dominant, and they put emphasis on logic when they're making decisions. The other aspect is that they're both judgers. So these are people who are reliable, reachable, organized. They don't like change at the last minute, so they will appreciate that about each other. The other point that is interesting is that they have the same relationship style. So it's both masculine and orderly. So what they're looking for in a partner is someone who gets the job done. So they like effectiveness in their relationships. Now, they will face some challenges. So if you look at the ENTJ, they have among the best because they are intuitives and when you look at their function, they have introverted intuition, their second function. So when you look at intuitives, the ones who have the slowest brain waves, like the ENTJ, tend to have the best energy. Whereas the ESTJ has the lowest energy of all the 16 MBTI personality types. So the ENTJ will behave more like an introvert, so they will need time alone or with a few close friends and members to recharge. Whereas the ESTJ is the quintessential extrovert, so they like to be around people to be energized because their energy is the lowest of all the personality types. Now, the other aspect is that they don't have the same themes for their lives. So the ENTJ, it is knowledge and power because they are an intuitive thinker, whereas the ESTJ, it is duty and tradition. So one is about the abstract future, being intuitive, the ENTJ, and the ESTJ being a sensor judger is about the concrete past. So they might struggle there. So I would say, interesting enough, is that the one obviously is the intuitive version of the other, but the fact that the energy doesn't match, the fact that the one is an intuitive, the other one is a sensor, and they don't have the same theme for their lives, they might be facing some challenges there. So in other words, they would be good, let's say, co-workers. If they're working on a project, they will really be able to lean on each other. And they also tend to both have rather high IQs. So that will be, again, a strength. But what happens to relationships is that people want to increase their energy. So whenever we do anything in life, what we want ultimately is improve our sense of well-being. It is very much linked to our energy level. And whenever you are combining personality types, you have to really pay attention to their difference in energy. And the ENTJ will feel a drop in energy. They spend a lot of time with the ESTJ. And because of the fact that they have extroverted thinking as their first function, they might not be able to pinpoint what it is. People who are very left brain dominant, like the ENTJ and the ESTJ, tend to not be able to feel subtle energy consciously. So that will be an issue. And if someone spends a lot of time with someone with a low energy, over time they may get physically sick. So this is something that we need to put emphasis on. So overall, I would say that they're not really compatible because of the energy difference and because of the fact that one's intuitive, the other one is a sensor judger. And I would say that, again, they have some points in common. One interesting is the intuitive version of the other, but in this case, it is not a compatible pairing. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this compatibility analysis by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Also remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.